You're watching Hockey North. Anastasia Bucsis here, joined by Karissa Donkin. Karissa, great to see you. Listen, it was a very busy week. We're about a quarter away done the season. Favorite moments that come to your mind right away?
Yeah, I mean, just from the last week, I think for me, I've got to say, seeing Jen Gardner standing on the blue line in Vancouver and knowing, she's in her hometown, she's living out this dream, and she's also playing on the same ice with Marie-Philippe Poulin, where she watched her score those 2 goals in Vancouver in 2010, and then gets to see a heck of a goal from her captain again. I mean, you can't write that any better. That must have been such an amazing moment for her.
Yeah, I think it gives everyone shivers when Pooh is ever in Vancouver, of course. Probably similar to like a Sidney Crosby playing, just brings up so many memories. My favorite moment, though, I was very lucky. I was at the Ottawa game. The chance in that barn of no goal.
Review in consultation with the CSR, it was determined that the puck was kicked into the net. Therefore, we have no goal.
It was electric, and I was so lucky. I mean, obviously, Bilka thinks she gets the goal. She kicks it in. But I got to talk to Jocelyn The Rock right after, and she was just beaming. She was like, the fans here, it is so electric. She was so happy. It was really cool just to feel it and see, obviously a player that had quite an emotional past 2 weeks really settle in. It was super fun. Okay, but talking about no goal, there was perhaps a big goal that should have been a no goal. I'm talking about Jessie Eldridge, of course. She wins the game over the Toronto Scepters, but she was offside. I mean, the call was egregious. What do you make of it?
Yeah, there's no question. She was offside by quite a bit, and it was missed, right? It was missed. There's no other way to say it. And the rule book is pretty explicit about not allowing video review for offside situations. And what the league has said to me about this is that there was discussion of whether to have those video reviews on offside, potential offside situations, and the consensus was not to do it. However, I will say, the PWHL, and I think personally this is a great thing, they're willing to experiment. So just what the rulebook says this season doesn't mean that's what it's going to say next season. They're willing to change things around, and if something's not working, they're willing to ditch it. So I think there's a way that you could be creative about having these reviews and maybe avoid some of the stuff that people don't really like about these reviews in the NHL. So for instance, maybe you have a time limit after zone entry that you can review it, so you're not overturning a goal because somebody was offside like 2 million minutes ago. So, I mean, the PWHL is creative. I think there's a way to fix this, but the best way to fix it is just to get the call right.
Yeah, they can be creative, and it'll be interesting to see if this creates a rule change. Toronto, of course, that goal handed Toronto their 3rd straight loss. Is it time to panic? I don't even love that question, but what's going on with the Scepters?
Yeah, so if I have my panic meter in my hand, I would say it's somewhere hovering around the middle at this point, Anastasia, for Toronto. I think after tonight, Toronto is about a third of the way through the season, so there's lots of hockey left to be played, and the good news is that with 3 points for a regulation win, you can make up ground pretty quickly. Of course, the bad news is it's really hard to win a game in regulation in the PWHL. Mm-hmm. So they have dug a bit of a hole. And, I will say, to their credit, in the game against New York, they had some really good chances. And I think in the second and the third period, they probably were the better team. But Corinne Schroeder played, out of her mind. And they got goalied, right? So I think they are certainly missing having Natalie Spooner, having that big body in front of the net to maybe take away somebody like Corinne Schroeder's ability to see the puck. So, but you also can't assume, Natalie Spooner, when she does come back, and we don't know when that is at this point, that she's going to fix everything, right? She's missed a good chunk of the season. It's going to take some time to get back into the game. So Toronto definitely needs to just find a way to finish those chances. And maybe it is, screening the goalie better and taking away their eyes. I think Troy Ryan mentioned that after the game on Sunday, but the looks are there. They're just not going in the net.
You know who got a pretty spectacular look? MPP, of course, Captain Clutch. That goal in Vancouver, I mean, it's got to be a contender for goal of the year, Karissa.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said this before, Anastasia, that we take for granted what she can do with the puck because she just does stuff like this all the time. And you're like, oh yeah, she just, that's Maddie for the Poulin. This is another day at the office for her. It's just, another Wednesday night for her at work. So it is incredible what she can do. And there's something about her in Vancouver, right? Like maybe it's that magic on the ice. It was just a pretty cool moment.
Vancouver, I'm telling you. So a lot of people might be saying that's going to be a goal of the year or the goal of the year, but where does the Abby Barreen goal fit into this conversation? Because I think there are two camps here.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to say Barreen is the goal of the year, and I'm going to say just that little bit of stick work around Renata Fast for me kind of sells it. And maybe that is, honestly, Anastasia, maybe part of it is like, just a little bit, I am used to seeing MPP do these crazy things, and I don't know, which isn't fair. It's not fair just because she does amazing things all the time doesn't make them any less amazing, right? We are witnessing greatness every time she goes out on the ice. But for me, I'm gonna say the Barreen goal is the goal of the year for me right now.
No disrespect to Abby Barreen, for me, it's MPP. Because this is the thing, Pooh is such a legend. She's the greatest hockey player of all time. And anytime she scores a goal like that, that highlight is going to be watched for the end of our days. Like anytime Pooh does something like that, it's just a cherry on top. And to see Carolyn Millette coach a bunch of folks and they're trying the Superman goal, I just think yeah. I mean, what can you say about MPP? Every time she scores like that, yes.
It is. And you know what? I was just going to say the fact that we can see that on a Wednesday night. How cool is that? That you can turn on the TV on a Wednesday night or put CBC Gem on or whatever. And you can watch MPP do amazing things with the puck. We don't have to wait every 4 years or World Championship or watch it on some, stream on YouTube that looks like somebody filmed it with their webcam. You can watch it in high quality on a Wednesday night and you can see her do these amazing things. What a time we live in.
What a time to be alive. Let's talk about U18s too, because everyone was watching that. And in the rink in Ottawa, everyone was talking about it. It was so fun. Canada defeats the United States 3-0. I mean, so many superstars coming up on this team. Chloe Primorano, though, on the tip of everyone's tongue.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, she had a fantastic tournament and, as their captain, talking to Vicky Sinahara about what she brings. I mean, we talk about her stat line, we talk about her skating, we talk about her shot. But for her, it's the leadership that she brings. And she wasn't Canada's top scorer this year. And that wasn't really, her goal. Like the records that we did see her break or tie, depending on which one you're looking at, that wasn't really her goal going into it. She'd rather set up her teammate for that, that great play rather than score the goal herself, which is a lot like the player who we were just talking about, Marie-Philippe Poulin, a lot of those same qualities and just how she has developed in the last year. Her coach told me just, she's still a little bit shy when she speaks in the dressing room, but just that leadership in the last year and how that's come along has been amazing. And we ultimately saw that she guided this team to gold.
Hot take, do you think that she will make the Olympic team? Because there is a debate. Obviously, she's going to be a superstar. Do you go with wisdom or providing an athlete like her experience on that stage?
Yes, I think she should be. She should be on that team. I think the competition on defense is going to be where some of the most difficult decisions are going to be made for that 2026 team. But when you're looking ahead to 2030 and who's going to be the core of your team, we know Chloe Primorano is going to be the defender of the future. For Canada, she's going to be a big part of this team in the future. So I think she should get that opportunity. And I think that the Team Canada brass is thinking about that. I mean, we see her coming into the rivalry series. It'll be really interesting, Anastasia, to see if we see her at the World Championship this year. And if so, how is she utilized? Because they do like to ease people in. It's a bit of a different philosophy than what we see with Team USA, for example. But I think she should be on the team, and I think that she should get that opportunity.
I do too. It was so exciting to watch U18s. Dorothy Capetti, can I tell you a secret? That was my grandma's name, Dorothy. I'm going to get a Capetti jersey. Really. That's my lens as a sports journalist. It was so fun to watch. Thanks so much for talking shop with me, Karissa. Battle of Bay Street, January 25th. Toronto hosting New York. It's going to be lights out. We're going to be there. Thanks again.